Howdy folks, TJ here. Thought it was time again to read one of my articles from Next Magazine. I've only done this once. I did it for issue number 1. And I said, I'd give the issue quite a while to come out before I do a manual read of it over the internets on the YouTubes for you. That way, I hope that more people are subscribing. There's a lot of people that subscribe to this wonderful magazine, and if you own a Speccy Next, it's a must-have. But I thought this issue is now quite old, and it's time for me to read my article from issue number 2. I don't even remember what I said. I don't remember what page it's on, but we're going to read it together, and I'll try to add a little bit of stuff to my reading. So let's find out what page. By the way, this is issue number 2. Back then, they never dated these. They just called it issue 1, issue 2, and so on. This is issue number 2. I forget what exact month it came out, but it was last year, 2024, I believe, because we're up to issue number 8. I just, in fact, sent my issue number 8 article over to Chris and the team. So hopefully we'll see those come, June sometime, I guess? I actually haven't even received my issue number 7 yet in the mail, so I haven't read it. So I'm ready for it to come. So let me find out what page I am at. It's called TJ's Corner. I'm on page 12 in this issue, and we'll show you what this issue kind of looks like. It looks like it's a 2-pager. At least I think it ends at page, yeah, that looks like I got my initial there. So let's read. It says TJ's Corner, and of course, it has my YouTube channel and my itch account as well. Reason I probably put my itch account on here is because I'm chatting about, it appears from this picture that I have up here, my video game Invasion of the Cloud People, which I have an itch account, which is a wonderful vestibule for people like you, like me, that may make basic games and we want other people to try them. All of mine to date have been, I guess you call it kind of donationware. You put it up free, but it says make an offer, and you're hoping that a few people give you a few dollars, because those few dollars help keep the lights on. And it's very dark in this room. You can't tell, but I've got just a little ambient light behind me and that light over here. The camera's picking up a little bit of light, but I don't have anything above me, so reading this may be difficult. I'm going to have to do this a little bit, as well as I've got bad allergy day today, so if I do this, and I do this, you'll know why. Plus, my foot hurts. Okay, so per that picture, this it looks to be about maybe making of your own video game. I forget. Let's read. So I am TJ Ferreira from Northern California, and you can see what Sinclair Next shenanigans I am up to on my favorite YouTube channel. So TJ's Corner is what it's called. In my first column for our new Next magazine, I told you about myself and my little Sinclair story. Now that you know a little about me, let's move on and tell you some stories about my small dream. Living the experience of being a 1980s bedroom coder, but living that experience 40 years later in 2024. The bee's knees is what I'm calling this at the beginning. If one awakes daily thinking about the Sinclair Spectrum Next and goes to bed thinking about the same Speccy Next, there must be some love there. I feel similarly about most of my hobbies. Once I latch onto something I love, it becomes an obsession. That is how I feel about Sinclair computers. They are part of a constant thought process in my mind concerned with when I get to enjoy them. Let me read that again. That sounded weird. Again, maybe I'm reading a sentence below where it needs to be. That is how I feel about Sinclair computers. They are part of a constant thought process in my mind concerned with when I get to enjoy them. I guess that kind of makes sense. Make stuff for them, talk about them, post on social media about them, make videos about them day in and day out. So now that makes sense. There was a comma in there, and I thought it was a period. So that was a whole big old long sentence. Basically, I'm saying here that I wake up in the morning thinking of Speccy Next. I go to bed at night thinking about Speccy Next. And it's always on my mind, along with other things, stress. Life is stressful, but there's some good things in there, and Speccy Next is on the good side of things. So yes, I am smitten as a kitten, like Dr. Zeus, TJ, about the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Next, and have been hooked since its introduction. Now, about those bee's knees. What does that phrase actually mean? And then the editor went ahead and put this in yellow, because I don't think I remember putting this in here, although I may have, and then he just put it in yellow. It says, the bee's knees, informal plus old-fashioned, an excellent or much liked version or thing. She's the bee's knees. Okay, got it? Good. All right, indeed, I am old. Just look at me. A lot of people, especially when I got my big old beard, people think, that guy's an old crusty fart. I'm definitely getting crustier, but I'm not retired yet, so I'm not quite that old. Okay, I'm getting older. By the day, so you may find some of my sayings old-fashioned, but on point as well. The Spectrum Next is an excellent computer carrying on the lineage of Sinclair as if we made it a new computer after the older Toast Rack. Or for some, the +2 or +3, what would a new updated Sinclair be like? To our amazement, the Next team made one heck of an 8-bit computer. Not only can the Next run games and apps of old, but it can also use many of the old hardware expansions. And of course, it offers new upgraded features, making it one powerful 8-bit computer. Did someone say 28 megahertz? SD card data access? HDMI display? Sheesh! Even older VGA displays can be connected and can load games from a cassette tape. To me, everything about the Next is the bee's knees. And I've said that a number of times over the years. The Next has it all going for it. It's all that and a bag of potato chips. From the sleek, sexy design, easy SD card access, easy to understand Next Basic programming language, being an FPGA, so many other cores can be experienced by the user. A super 28 megahertz speed for those new games that take the Speccy gaming experience to an all-new level. Indeed, I am deeply infatuated with my Spectrum Next, along with thousands and thousands of other Next bees. So I'm calling you part of the colony, I guess. You guys are part of the bee's knees. And 17,000 members of the ZX Spectrum Next Facebook group would seem like proof. I think it's up to 18,000 something now, nearing 19,000 last I looked. So quite a vibrant community. Bedroom coder, hear me roar. You thought I was going to make a big old roar, but no, I kind of did a little bit of a kind of like Wizard of Oz when the lion. He kind of did a he was a little purry boy. Okay. Bedroom coder, hear me roar. As mentioned in issue 1, I started creating a game in the 1980s on my Atari 800. But with the introduction of the fast cars and cute girls, that dream of programming my first video game never happened. I bet you for a lot of you the same happened. I mean, come on, fast cars and cute girls, you do the math. Exactly. Anyway, believe it or not, there's actually a few people probably preferred the programming over the fast girls and the hot women and the fast cars. But I think majority of, even us nerds, I mean, look at Revenge of the Nerds. Who ended up getting all the babes in the end? The nerds. What's on our mind most of the time? I don't want to go there. I'll let you think of it. Anyway, my fast forward to receiving my first Speccy Next, a pledge I purchased from a nice bloke here in the United States who saw how infatuated I was and sold his pledge to me. I lucked out. To bring myself up to speed, I started to buy all sorts of Sinclair computers. In late 2018 and early 2019, one being the Timex Sinclair TS2068, and the second being the Omni 128 laptop. Between these two computers, I started to learn to code BASIC in a basic language all over again. The last time I coded was in the 1980s with my Atari, so I had much to relearn. But who doesn't remember how to make the hello world? Isn't that true? The first thing we go to is hello world. It's like riding a bicycle, and that's the first thing a lot of us do on these brand new computers the first time we get them. I aim to learn ZX Basic while waiting for my Speccy Next to arrive. After many weeks of reading the Timex Sinclair TS2068 and Speccy manuals I picked up, I created my first game, a 7-level quick in and quick out video game called Invasion of the Cloud People. It's all typed in with the dead flesh keyboard of my Omni 128. I wanted to recreate my feelings in the 1980s when I made my first game. I documented much of the experience along the way and even saved the small gridded papers of the UDGs I created back then. I uploaded the first video game I made for the masses to enjoy, although the masses ended up only being 206 downloads. I don't know what it's up to now, maybe 300 or something. Needless to say, most people, when they go on the itch, even though it's donation and make an offer, you only get a handful of people that actually pay you money. And you appreciate those that did, because it makes you want to make more. And I understand most people are just going to grab it and play it. I just wanted the game out there, so that's why I basically put it up for free. But booze money, money to keep the lights on, all those things keep YouTubers active. They keep them going. And without that, you will have less of that. So make sure to treat your YouTubers that you like correctly. So become a Patreon if they got a Patreon. Join their YouTube if they offer memberships. It's only $1 or $2. It saves you a couple of calories of going out and buying your own beer and drinking it. So give it to me and fatten me up more than you. See, I'm your diet control. Anyway, okay, moving on. Where did I end? 206 downloads as of this writing. Officially, I could add the words coder or programmer to my resume. And I put lots of laughs, so I'm kind of giggling. I've had my first taste of creating a video game from scratch and allowing others to try it out. I like the taste. And I needed more. I just needed more after getting that first taste. I am quite proud of the game I created, but I had some new moves in these old legs, and I was ready for my next game. A game made in Next Basic, and all typed in on my Next computer. So no, I didn't take one of those newfangled PCs and use some other programs and create a game in a nice, fast environment. I went back to the original metal. That's what I prefer. It made me feel part of the team, and I never foresee me ever coding a game on a PC or a Mac and then doing something to make it work on a Next or whatever computer I've got. I prefer to be part of the environment that you're working on, and that means the steel, the real metal, the real plastic. So I just like that aspect of it. Anyway, the little lion in me roared more loudly. That's what honey, I'm in the mood. No wonder she takes off all the time. Okay, we won't go there. Okay, and Invasion of the Cloud People. The little lion in me roared more loudly, and Invasion of the Cloud People, the next storm, was born. Everything I'd learned making my 48K game could be transferred to the next hardware, and all sorts of new features and power come with it. What began as simply making a single physical copy of my own video game to put on my shelf so it looked cool next to Baggers in Space, and became, I gotta itch my nose, and became, has become a quest. Okay, I'm gonna read that sentence over again. Oh, don't sneeze. Okay, one more time. So what began, I'm talking about my Speccy 48 came, and all sorts of new power came to me with my Speccy Next. And all of a sudden, what became as simply making a single physical copy of my own video game to put on my shelf, which is a plan that I had. I wanted to put one up there, and I wanted it to be next to Baggers in Space, has become a quest for me, or at that time it did, because this is now over. From designing the DVD SD case artwork, to making a bootable SD card, to making a nice booklet about the game, and adding all sorts of extra goodies to make a special, I want to experience it all to get a sense of how it would feel to be a bedroom coder back then. I might be stepping forward 40 years at 50-something. I'm still 50-something, but not much longer. But that proves it's never too late. So I'm explaining here that I went from wanting a Speccy Next, buying old Speccy computers, learning how to make a video game in older Spectrum Basic, and then moving on to getting my Speccy Next, making a game, The Next Storm, using the power of the Next, and then deciding, okay, I'm going to make a physical game. I want this whole coding experience like I was back in the 1980s to happen. And to do that, you need to make a physical game, and you need to sell the physical game. So that's what I was building up to, and saying that you're never too late to do it. In my coming articles for Next Magazine, I plan to document some of my experiences creating my next game from the very beginning to that final product, an actual physical edition of my game. You got something shiny down here that's keeping my eye attracted to it. Not that, although it does shine at times. We won't go there again. A lot of innuendo going on today. It's like Goldmember from, what's this call it? Okay, we're talking about the physical copy. So an actual physical edition of my game. I know there must be other bedroom coders here reading Next Magazine that will find this interesting, or at least I hope there are, because more games made by folks like you will bring so many more fun days to all of us. Join me in my next column, where I will take you on this little journey, telling you the good and maybe some of the bad about becoming a small-time programmer and releasing my first video. And I think I said video game. It just says video. Is that a typo? I have to go back and look at my original one. Did the editor leave that out? Or did the writer, me, leave it out? But I'm explaining to you, or maybe I'm just talking about, I'm going to make a video about it, but I think I meant video game. Until next time, TJ. So that was the whole article. A lot of my articles are mostly, I'm a cheerleader, if you haven't figured that out. So I like to cheerlead other people on the doing these things, stepping out of your comfort zone, making a video game, and releasing it. And a lot of you watching this never have, maybe never will, but some of you I'm sure have coded Hello World before. Maybe you need to step it up a notch, and you need to make a video game for all of us Speccy Next owners to enjoy. Issue number 8, which is coming out sometime, but I just uploaded my article over to the guys. It kind of talks a little bit about, not my game, but about some developers right now in the world of Speccy lands. And I'm so fascinated by some newcomers, we'll call them, some names that we didn't quite see a lot of, making stuff for the Next. There's some existing folks that have been making stuff for the Next for years. They're the real gurus. But I also equally enjoy the less guru, the people like me, maybe like you, that write stuff for the first time and making games, and it's fun to see that whole world of develop. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed me reading issue number 2, my article, I didn't remember I said any of those things. I kind of do, but not quite. I don't even remember what I put in issue 3, but I know I did talk about making, for a little while, your own video game, giving you some tips and pointers from a newbie that was going through the motions that may help you to do the same thing. And even if you don't make a video game for the masses, maybe you make one for yourself, and like me, wanted to stick your own DVD SD case up on the shelf with all of your other Next games and software. And so you can sit there and go, I'm proud of what I did. No matter how small, how big, it is something that you made, and that's special. So anyway, thanks for listening to me tell you my issue number 2 story for the Next magazine. If you haven't subscribed, do so. It's a wonderful magazine if you want to help continue the Next world propelling forward. Every little bit helps, I'm sure, their team making this and be able to have folks like me and others writing articles. So thanks for listening in. Bye.